There's those individuals that have a beautiful blood glucose their whole life. When they test it, it's great. But they are blissfully unaware that it's because of our insulin levels that is that high to compensate, and that keeps the blood glucose in order, in check. This high insulin levels is obviously not healthy. Now, let's call this guy John. I want to talk about John who's got a high insulin levels his whole life. How will he look at 30? How will he look at 40? At 50? At 60? And maybe me and you, we can relate and do something about it so that we become more proactive and not reactive. So John with very high insulin levels at 30 will start gaining weight. His energy levels will drop and he will be hungry and have cravings, especially for the sugary, bad carbs that causes this blood sugar spike the whole time. In his 40s, he will have more weight, body fat, especially around the belly here, around the organs, the bad fat. You will definitely he might be diagnosed with insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is, of course, all the cells in the body lose their ability to respond to the effect of insulin. Insulin is not that effective anymore. You might be pre-diabetic. You might even be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes now. A big clue for high insulin levels is skin changes. So this word acanthosis nigricans, you find these dark velvety patches in the skin creases, skin folds, body creases around the neck, under the arms and the groins. Also little skin tags. It's this benign little growths, skin growths in the neck, under the arms, once again the groins. All in the folds and creases. Big one, this one. And then of course, also metabolic syndrome. John might get this in his 40s now. Metabolic syndrome, which is a cluster of things together. High blood pressure, high blood glucose, his blood lipids starts being wonky, and then once again the belly fat here. John at 50 he might start struggling with his heart now, cardiovascular disease. He might start getting non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is this fat buildup around the liver, which causes a lot of liver inflammation and damage to the liver. His diabetic symptoms might worsen, and he might start struggling with mental health, depression, anxiety. John at 60, he now has severe cardiovascular disease, heart failure, even more plaque around the heart. He might have advanced diabetic complications, vision loss, his kidneys might start giving trouble, cognitive decline even more so now than mental health. Now he starts struggling with stuff like Alzheimer's and all those bad stuff, brain stuff. And then obviously being overweight, his mobility is not that good, and his overall quality of life is not that good. So this is how John progresses from high insulin in his 30s, and he did nothing about it into his 60s, and now he's sitting with a real problem. Let's not be John let's do something reactive now. Let's start doing something proactive here already. Now we cannot manage what we do not measure, so we have to monitor, we have to track, we have to have real data to show. So in the comments bar below, I put a list of tests that you can do to check if you may be insulin resistant. How is your insulin levels? How's your insulin to glucose? How does your body do with glucose? So look at that in the comments bar and discuss that with your doctor or your health provider.